I know we nourish our body with good foods and we move our body, which is very important. But what are the other things? Like clear the chaos in your life, clear the noise, right? Downsize, take inventory of the people that are in your life. Take an inventory on like what no longer serves you.
Hi, I'm Emery Kibler, and this is The Space Between. I'm a cancer survivor and a mom. And while those roles don't define me, they have shaped who I am. I created this space to share honest stories, expert insights, and meaningful support for families navigating life with cancer. If you're balancing treatment, caregiving, parenting, or just trying to hold it all together, you are not alone. This is your space to connect, to heal, and to feel seen, and I'm so glad that you're here. On today's episode, I'm sitting down with my dear friend, Gina Lamanna. Gina is the founder of the Fondle Project, which is a bold and beautiful movement. It's raising awareness for breast cancer, for self-breast exams, and supporting thrivers, women who have had breast cancer. Gina is not just an advocate, she is more than a survivor. She is completely redefining what it means to feel powerful, sensual, and whole again after breast cancer surgery. She has been such a mentor to me, and I can't tell you how many chats with her have felt like a warm hug and everything that I've needed. We are going to get into it in this conversation. We're going to talk about body image and the emotional roller coaster of healing. We're going to talk about getting your confidence back and dating after surgery as a single mom. So let's get into it. You have inspired a lot of women to get back to dating after their cancer journey, after surgery, when they're not feeling confident. And I would love for you to just talk a little bit about that. What was it like for you to get back to dating? How did you work up the confidence? Because your story is really powerful.
There are a handful of things going back to the act of self-love, right? Doing all the things that made me feel alive again or feel whole, right? Getting dressed every day was very important. Doing the things that made me feel good as far as body movement, infrared saunas, acupuncture, meditation, breath work, all those things are an act of self-love and you're healing within, right? As you know, there was also a stage post, I had 6 surgeries in 13 months. So lots of scars on my body. And so, yeah, it was definitely very hard to get naked with somebody new after my long relationship. I was with that guy for about 4 years, and then we had to unfortunately break up because of the long distance and whatnot. But I found myself, wow, this is new. Here I am. I think I was 42 at the time, divorced, 2 daughters, post reconstruction and whatnot. Like, how am I going to? It's a lot. How am I going to get naked again? So I knew I had to work on myself. Like, let me at least work through some of this. And, I just faced my fears. There was a stage about, let's say, 6 to 9 months that I dated much younger men. That it really helped me, and that just definitely boosted my confidence when you have a really young, cute guy interested, right? And I was very transparent, very clear with them, like, hey, this is just fun. Let's just have a good time. Let's go dancing. Let's flirty and let's have all the, so that was really helpful.
Gave you a little sparkle.
It definitely gave me a little sparkle, but then I realized, like, what am I doing here? Like, this isn't really going very far, but it was definitely a stepping stone. But I think for me, what was really important was, number one, getting dressed every day and reminding myself that I'm beautiful and strong. That, again, my mantra was, this does not define who I am. Cancer does not define who I am, even though there was a handful of men at the time when I was single, putting myself out there. When I was very transparent with them, they were extremely turned off. So that didn't help, but I had just to continue, just come back to myself and be like, okay, they're obviously not the right person for me. This does not define who I am. I am worthy. I am worthy of love. I am worthy of all the things. So that really helped me. And then just, again, surrounding myself with my girlfriends and just putting myself out there. It took some time, not going to lie. As you know, it took me some time. It wasn't like I was,
It's all a process.
Right. It's all a process. I really had to start healing. And I think I just had to, it's that saying, right? In order for someone to truly love you, you have to love yourself. So I had to find that love for myself again and stop blaming me for my cancer diagnosis. So it's definitely been quite a journey.
I remember a story you told me one time about, I think it was an ex-boyfriend or maybe it was just a good friend of you. And you're like, who's going to want this?
Yes, it was my ex-boyfriend who, yes, we were together for a handful of years, and he came to see me many times during all my post-surgery reconstruction healing. And it was right after my last surgery, my deep flap surgery. And he came over and we were chatting, and he was single too, and he knew me very well. And he was like, G-Bell, you just need to get out there. You just need to face your fears. And I remember looking at him standing up. I literally lifted up my shirt and showed him all my scars, on my abdomen and everywhere around my nipples, under, like, just scarred. And I was like, who is going to want this on top of divorce and all of this? And he just looked at me and he was like, this, again, reminding me, does not define who you are. You are awesome. You're incredible. You got so much to offer. Like, you're a love. Like, he just reminding me that all the beautiful things, right? Like, just, you are whole as you are. And any man who does not want to be a part of this and be by your side is just not worthy of your love. And I was like, yes. And then I remember when I finally put myself out there, it was a young man I met, and we're actually still very good friends. He has since moved from LA to Florida. He was 34 at the time, and we had our first date. It was like an 8-hour date. And I think it was at the 7th hour, I sat down, I'm like, this is going really well. And I wanted to tell him. So I told him, like, just so you know, this is what I've been through. And we came home, and he was the first man that I disrobed and got naked, and I left the lights on. And it was a big step, a very big step for me.
It's a huge step.
Huge step. And we dated for about 6 months, and he adored me as I was, and he was amazing. And obviously the relationship ended because he's young and whatever, but we still remain, good friends. And he, in a way, I've told him, like, he was my angel. I needed that one, again, that confidence, that stepping stone, like, okay. And then obviously there was a few toes along the way after that, but
we don't remember the toes. It's just, you remember all of the people who were there that supported you and helped to build you up. And now you have an amazing partner that you've been with for, I can't even believe it's been 2 years now?
No, almost 5.
5 years? Seriously? How did I think it was 2 years? And Charlie's the cutest.
It's okay. Charlie's amazing. And funny thing about Charlie is we met during the pandemic. We were about very casual, and it was about 6 months in, and I finally told him. He had no idea. After the fact, he thought, my scarring was like C-section, breast reduction, what have you. And again, we were very casual. And when I told him, I was like, I'd just like to let you know, I've been waiting for the right time. Now we're getting a little bit more serious and spending more time together. But I just want you to know, I went through breast cancer, and I'm how many years out? And he was like, I like you even more. And he was just such a love and just embraced me. And he was so supportive and compassionate. And he's been a great supporter of the Fondle Project. He was the one that came up with the name Fondle. He was our DP on the campaign, and he helped me with some content. And he's my rock as well. He calms me. He minimizes the chaos in my life. So that is beautiful, because he knows how important, as you know, minimize the stress, and he'll kind of be like, bring me to ground zero, which has been very helpful and part of the healing.
You've actually had some amazing men in your life.
Yes. So the ladies who are going through this, you can find love. You can. It may take some time, but just remember to love yourself, do the work, focus on you, because you are number one. You are a priority, especially if you have children, and the love will be there. You will find someone. You will find a partner. It happens. I mean, there was a time where I didn't think it would, because of everything I've been through and some of the toads I'd met along the way. But there are men and women out there that are ready and willing and want to love you.
And you're right. It's self-love because it's so hard to get to that space too. But you have to work through it and find a space where you can really accept yourself and love yourself to be able to move forward. So I want to hear more about Fondle Project. Can you tell us about your mission, everything about it, how you started it? What are you doing?
Oh gosh, yes, that's the big question.
So much.
There's so much. Well, the Fondle was birthed. We launched it in June of 2023, and I've been fashioned for 30 some years as a fashion stylist and an entrepreneur. And after my diagnosis of breast cancer, I met many women on this journey, and I recognized that we had one common thread. And that common thread was we all lost our confidence and we lose our self-esteem. Because as you know, our body goes through so many transformations, from whether it's losing your breast, reconstruction, losing your hair, weight gain from drugs, just, everything. And I came up with an idea and thought, how can I spotlight some of these incredible women that I've met along the way that have supported me on this journey and make them feel alive and beautiful and empowered? I actually lost my confidence and self-esteem, as you know, too, after my diagnosis, after multiple surgeries and whatnot. I didn't really recognize myself. So I struggled for quite some time. And it took me about 2 years to really work through that and heal and whatnot. So I really wanted to create a campaign of sharing these stories of resilience and strength and beauty to remind each and every one of these women that cancer does not define who we are, and that we are beautiful and strong. And June of 2023, we've launched this incredible campaign, and it was shot at Milk Studios by the incredible beauty and fashion photographer, Kate Powers. Everyone came together and donated their time. It was so amazing and so beautiful how everyone just came together to support my vision and to create this incredible campaign. We had 7 female fashion brands that I styled all the women in. And it was for that month of June, a percentage of sales from each one of these brands we donated to 3 different breast cancer organizations, which was a huge hit. Again, it was a small idea that I wanted to create, but it ended up making such a big impact when we launched that honestly, I had no idea what my next move was. And as you know, I was running my studio, and I had my clientele, and I was a stylist, and I, just trying to take care of myself. And I really didn't know what I wanted to do, but recognizing the impact that it made with women all over the country, I was like, okay, I guess my next step is, pursuing a possible nonprofit. So I kind of was back and forth with that. And then I had the opportunity, as you know, to be on the Drew Barrymore show. And that's when it kind of solidified everything, because she gave us $10,000. And I was like, okay, well, I guess this answers my next, where I am, what I should be doing. This is my new purpose in life. Let me move forward. So that was about a year ago. So since then, we have been just creating partnerships, expanding our community. I kind of went on a tangent here, I apologize, but the Fondle Project's mission is educating and empowering women about breast health and knowing their body and knowing they're normal. I want to encourage all women, empower all women to slow down, make themselves a priority. Because as you know, as I mentioned earlier, I found my cancer. It was my own advocacy. I followed my intuition, and I think it's so important as women, as founders, as mothers, to really slow down, take care of yourself, make yourself a priority. So there's an education, right? There's a preventative piece. What do you do to take care of yourself? What does that look like? Mind, body, and spirit, right? Emotionally, all of those things, right? I know we nourish our body with good foods and we move our body, which is very important. But what are the other things? Clear the chaos in your life, clear the noise, right? Downsize, take inventory of the people that are in your life, take an inventory on what no longer serves you, So it's about educating women, really reminding women to stay on top of their screenings, to perform their self-exams, fondle your breasts, not just once a month, not just once a year for your annual screenings, your annual OBGYN appointment. Like really get to know, normalize conversations about boobs. Then the other part is really helping women on this journey heal and thrive. As you know, as a cancer survivor, when we're in it, all we want to do, or we are in survival mode. We're going through it. We are surviving. We're trying to survive. We're trying to, fight. We're fighting. And the people that surround us during that time, whether it's delivering meal trains or helping us with our kids with carpool, those are all beautiful gestures, and we welcome them and we want all of them. But what about a year later? I'm on the other end. I'm 8 years out. Honestly, I am healing every day. Okay. And I know you are too. But what does that look like? There are so many women with a cancer diagnosis that they're on the other side and they don't have the resources. They don't have the community. They don't have the ability to have acupuncture to help them. Maybe it's infrared saunas. Maybe if you're like a more holistic, maybe you want to take a holistic approach, but you don't have the financial means or the resources to have those modalities in your life. So this is where Fondle comes in. We're raising money not only to expand our community and create these beautiful community events and campaigns and share powerful stories. We really want to help women on this journey to really thrive. I want you to thrive. And what that looks like, maybe you want a beautiful wardrobe. For me, getting dressed every day really helped me heal. I had access to beautiful wardrobe and all these amazing brands that I was able to work with to wardrobe me. So there's different ways. And we're helping a woman right now, again, going back to acupuncture. All she wants and needs and cannot afford is acupuncture. She's got joint pain from all the drugs. It's just, so we want to be able to provide those resources and those holistic modalities to help women on this journey to really thrive.
I teamed up with Stacey Eagle and Elise Ryan to create Sea Waves of Support, healing selenite bracelet sets. You keep one and gift the other to someone facing cancer or life's challenges, a powerful reminder they're not alone. Learn more at seawavesofsupport.com. So I'm 2 years out from my second diagnosis, and there's so many things that I'm so lucky that I can afford to do, like going to acupuncture and making time to do my meditation, and having a partner who supports me in being able to get to those things. But you're right, there's so many people that don't have the access to that. And it's such a powerful part of what you're doing with the Fondle Project. And you know what I think also makes the Fondle Project so different than anything I've seen out there is that you have created this like beautiful, chic, elegant campaign so that it doesn't feel like it's like pink washed or, it gives back this feeling of like what you would really want to have as a woman before you got cancer, like the kind of life that you wanted to lead and all of the different things you want to have. And I think it allows you then to feel like more of your own personal self-worth and your confidence coming back because you're able to be a part of something that's so beautiful, and seeing all of these women that you're bringing together and like the events that you're doing and the cooking classes and all of the different special things. There's this beautiful bond of love and giving back and sharing that's happening there that really it shows through in the content that you're making for these women and in the education that you're doing. And it's so powerful.
Thank you. I think it's very important. I think, again, the idea for this campaign was a modern, like more elevated too, right? Because pink does represent breast cancer survivors and breast health, which is amazing. And it's about research. And I think research is very, very important. But what about, there's a gap between treatment and healing, right? Like there's so many amazing organizations out there that focus on the research and rides for chemo and retreats and all those things, which are great. But again, I wanted to really help these women just feel alive again, what that looks like. And even though there's a lot of these things are available online, you can go online, you can go to YouTube and learn meditation. But again, some women, they're so deep that maybe they're so depressed, they just, they don't know how to access this information or what that first step is. And they don't have somebody to help them. get from A to B. So I really want to target, my demographic is the younger generation, because unfortunately, as you know, women are becoming, are being diagnosed at a much younger age. The youngest girl in my campaign was 24. There's a young girl, Miranda McKean, I think her last name is. It was diagnosed at the age of 19. Many women are being misdiagnosed or dismissed because of their age. So the Fondle Project, although I can't take credit for the name, I really wanted to kind of have the younger generation lean into like, ooh, what is that? Like, it's sexy. It's black and white. Like, oh shit, I need to feel my boobs. Like, let me become.
It gets your attention.
It gets your attention. It grabs your attention. Like, what is that? So it's, we've come a long way and I'm really excited, but there's a lot of unknowns and I'm a bit nervous because a nonprofit it's a whole new, it's a lot. And
it's a lot.
It's a lot. And fundraising is challenging, especially in this current state of our country and whatnot. But I think it's very important to build the community and create a safe space for women. What I've recognized since we've launched and have had hosted many private events this past year is that women really crave this safe space to talk about their sexual health, breasts, just women's health, everything, and women are really leaning into learning how to properly perform a self-exam and to touch their breasts. And so that's been very refreshing to see that women are very receptive. Like, okay, like, shit, I don't know how to perform a self-exam. I rely once a year and my doctor just feels me for, 2 minutes.
Not even 2 minutes. It's like 30 seconds. And I think you have done an excellent job of that. You've gotten me doing it. I do it in the shower almost every day. I'm like, okay, wash, check the breast. There's the right one. There's the left one. Okay, we're good. And it's become a part of my daily. And it's because of you.
I really want to make it part of your routine because look, you should do it once a month, if anything, but you're once a month, 4 or 5 days later. Say you perform your self-exam on April 1st. On April 6th, your boobs can be very different. Our hormones fluctuate. Our breasts changes all the time. So I think if we can create some kind of routine, maybe it's once a week or if it's when you're brushing your teeth or taking a shower or getting dressed, cop yourself a feel and just move around and just pay attention. This is not to instill fear. This is allowing you to know you're normal because knowledge is power. Pay attention. You may be very lumpy and bumpy and that's normal. Awesome. Note it down. But if you notice any changes, pay attention, watch it for a month, 2 months, something changes or gets bigger or there's discharge or scaling or a rash, then you got to bring that to your doctor's attention, regardless of a normal screening or not, right? So it's really just, we pay attention to our weight gain, we pay attention to all these other things, pay attention to your breasts, know what is normal.
Yeah, knowing your body is your biggest tool for staying healthy because we see our doctors so infrequently. They only have 20, 30 minutes with us. So it's up to us to know what is our normal and to be able to keep track of if anything in your body, it feels different. When it feels different, like you said, note it, keep track of it. Maybe it goes away and you never hear from it again. Great. But if it continues to be something that's different, that's when you need to take it to your doctor. And I feel like I'm in the shower anyway. Like it's the perfect time. Why not just do your self-breast exam when you're in there? And the more that you do it, the more you really realize what your breasts feel like. And there's nothing wrong. It's beautiful. You should know what your body's like. It's that shame that was so prevalent. I think it's kept women from doing it. And you make it kind of fun and funny. Like I know you did a self-breast exam at one of our events and I stood up there with you with our clothes on and we're like, look, we're doing it. Like get in there, pick your arm up, feel around.
Exactly. It's normalizing it, right? We've introduced Fondle Fridays too, and it's kind of it's gaining some momentum there. Women are remembering it's Fondle Friday, so I'm going to fondle my breasts. I mean, you know your body best. Any doctor who will tell you that. Like I have this one doctor who I absolutely love and trust wholeheartedly. He's like, he pays attention to everything that I have shared with him, even when I had my breast implant. And it's just like, You know your body best, and I'm going to listen to you. If you have a doctor that's not listening to you and just is dismissing you, it's time for you to find another doctor, because we are so powerful with our intuition is so powerful, right? So at the end of the day, for me, it's like, it's a form of self-love. It's an act of self-love. It's being fond of who you are, really just leaning into all of it and just knowing yourself and knowing your body.
That's what self-care really is. That's it. It's not going and getting your nails done. It's taking care of your body, your mind, and your soul. Nurturing it, taking care of it.
Exactly.
Okay, I have one last question for you. If you could go back and speak to yourself on the day that you are diagnosed, what would you say?
I would say take a breath. I would say that I'm going to get through this, but not by doing more, by doing less. Slow down. You hear me say that a lot. Slow down, clear the noise, minimize the chaos. And I don't just mean the papers on your desk. Take inventory, which I did in my life, from clientele to friendships to relationships to various things in my life. Continue to listen closely to your intuition, which I'm grateful for that. I say often that I'm grateful for my diagnosis because it confirmed how important it is to listen to your intuition on so many levels and different things that has happened these last 8 years. My intuition is confirmed, all the time. I would say it's actually okay to say no. I was the yes girl. I was always saying yes to everything, and just being present, which I am now with my children, with myself, with my partners, and making myself a priority. Like, that was definitely the wake-up call for me. Like, slow down, take care of yourself. Like, your health is top priority, especially when you're a mother. And as terrifying as a diagnosis of cancer is, it's the beginning of a more intentional, beautiful life. And now here I am in a new chapter in my life with Fondle, right? I have a new purpose. I continue to help women. And, being a fashion stylist, it's about helping women and empowering them and making them feel confident and sexy, right? But now this is a whole new purpose. Saving lives. Helping women, saving lives. And really helping women just tune into, themselves.
Thank you. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for joining me on this episode of The Space Between. If this show brought you comfort or a sense of community, I'd love for you to subscribe and share it with anyone who might need it too. You can join the conversation on Instagram at thespacebetween_cancer.family and head to amoryKibler.com for more resources designed to support parents navigating cancer. Just remember, you're never alone. This podcast is here as a companion on your journey towards healing, growth, and connection.